Also. Hey there, here's another clip with some Kali Sikaran. Today I have the actress Muamalan with me, and we're going to do some self-defense action here and do a couple of exercises, a couple of techniques, and eventually get into everyday objects. And we might have a sponsor for umbrellas or something, I don't know, but we're just going to get started here, and we go kind of quick about it. So we'll just start with a regular Kapka 3 there. Not going to stay too long. 1, 2, 3. And we keep that hand high all the time. There you go. And that's just a pattern, sort of. 1, 2, 3. So it's forehand, low backhand, high backhand. Forehand, low backhand, high backhand. And we just do that and we move around a little bit this time. So we just be over here. That's it. And now we start to add that. And normally, of course, you want to practice a little bit longer. We do the fast version here. And if you get stuck on something, we stay a little bit longer. Is that all right?
That's all right.
That's okay. So we're going to add a little bit of stabbing action. And stabbing action is good for long range. If you want to stay away, or if you want to do something when you're further away, or if you want to keep somebody further away from you. So we're just going to add a high stab after the 3. So we're going to start with 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do a high stab, and we miss intentionally this time. Other side, miss intentionally. Stab on the outside. So it's a little bit like a cross, depending on the stance. If I'm standing with a lead leg, it's not a cross. If I stand with a rear leg, that's going to be a cross. That's it. So that could be part of the drill. And next one, we're going to do it a little bit more like an application. So if you do regular striking, I'm just going to be over there. So you just do a 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So from here, we can just add that one. And we do 1, 2, 3. And I'm just adding that. Now it's your turn. I do the striking. You do the stab. That's it. 1, 2, 3, and stab. A few more times, you go. That's it. And just like we're doing now for safety, you aim for the shoulders. Application-wise, that could be throat, face, whatever. For safety reasons, you practice to the shoulders. So that's the high stab. And we're just going to do an application on that to go one stick each for a little while. So this time, that could be application from here. So do 1, 2, 3, do a little check with that live hand, and the stab. Here you go. That's it. Again. That's it. Yes. So that can be done in the drill that you're doing here now, or it can be done when somebody's just swinging like a backhand. So if I'm only swinging the backhand this time, not the drill, so only this one, you just do the block and the stab. So we're going from here, that's it. There you go, 2 more. There you go. So if you have that reference, the backhand of a stick, that's also outside of the arm. So if I take the stick away and just do a punch, could be the same, but more is blocking on the outside and follow up with that stab. So again, rule number 1 is you don't want to get hit, so you don't stay in front of that. You pass on the outside. So again, somebody's a little bit stupid, and again, we don't know if that is a stick or an umbrella. We're going to get to the umbrella later. This time you're just defensive, so you move to my outside and you just block the arm and you stab. So you just block that one and stab. And you can block with a stick or with a hand. And of course, that could be a defensive block, just like Moa is doing now, or a little bit more offensive, like a strike, depending on what you're holding there. It could be a little bit more like a strike and a stab. strike and a stab. That's it. So it's kind of same. And now, yes, so let's do that with umbrella. So you just want to make sure if you have a short folded umbrella, won't be as functional. You want to have something with a little bit of a tip, and you want it to be fairly solid. Not 100%. You can buy very solid umbrellas, but if you have one that's very weak, will be a little bit harder to do this kind of action though. But we start with the backhand. So again, if this one is solid, heavy, she needs to move a lot more. If it's light and fast, you want to be light and fast as well. So you have to adjust that. We're not going to do all the variations now, but you just do the backhand and the stab. And now she can be quite far away. That's it. So if you just stay and we freeze that moment here, stop. I'm almost not in the range. I'm too close so she can't just stay there, but she has a long, long reach from there, which is the advantage of having a big and long umbrella. And of course that strike could be against the stick, a little bit of a defensive action, could also be hit on my hand there. Now you have to hit a little bit harder, that's it. So the tricky part now is swinging. So if you're too passive, that's going to swing away. And if you're a little bit harder, it's going to be stay more in your control there. There you go. And the same, I'm punching. You don't want to stay in front of that punch. You just want to move away from that line of fire and stab to stay away out of reach. So again, can hit a little bit harder on my hand, depending on where you begin. So if you can begin low or you can begin high. So yes, so I'm stealing this one a little bit. So again, depending on how surprised you get, if you get surprised and you're not really ready, you might just have to lift it up. So now this action won't do that much. If you have a little bit more time, you can do a little bit more swing to the arm, depending on how fast your reactions or your preparations are. So if you're a little bit surprised, you might have just to lift it up. And if you're a little bit prepared, you swing and hit my hand harder there. And that again depends on the umbrella, how much that's going to be. It's not going to be like it's too hard hit here, but the stab will work. And of course, stab could be different areas. Might not do that much, but solar plexus is fairly nice also, depending on what the attacker is wearing. If it's in Sweden, it might be a big, thick jacket. Might get a little bit trickier to get through, but again, there's a lot of good targets when you have a pointy umbrella there. So that's one quick application. We get back to the drilling again, and you take a stick. So that was long range. And that can be applied by just getting in that range, or you just stay and reach far. But it can also be that sometimes we can't stay away that far as we would like to, so we have to work with this one here. So yes, I'm out on an angle, no problem. If we clash in a little bit here, might have to do that one there. And again, depends with a stick, no problem. Cell phone, fairly okay as well. If your handle is solid and heavy enough, it's going to be functional as well. But we're just going to do, I'll do this one. I'm here. Could be with my lead leg. Could be that I'm angling out a little bit to be out of a line. We can do both. You go. So that's angling out of a line. That's it. There you go. Two more. Yeah. Nice. So it's fairly nice and easy when you have a light and easy stick. see if we can do that with the umbrella as well. And we're going to do it a little bit like drill format first. So we do same exercise, even if it's not really applicable with the umbrella, but we're going to go into one swing later on. But just a few times like that, get a little bit adjusted with the punyo there. So right now, Moa is stepping in. So that's okay. If she want to be there, I would say that if you can choose, you do the previous version where you stay away with that stabbing action there. But it might be that I'm getting in, and now she doesn't have an option there. So if I'm trying to rush, that's her response. If she have all the time in the world, she do the stabbing. And that would be better, but it's not always an option because I'm too close there, and you never know. So that's why we practice both. But you also have to understand what you're holding in your hand. Is this functional with this handle? Yes, it's fairly solid. Is this functional with this one? Yeah, it's fairly solid as well. So you just have to understand. So don't take any kind of umbrella. It might not be that appropriate. Back to the sticks. Are you following there, Moa? Mm-hmm. Or am I talking too much? One stick, sorry. So this time, we've been doing, in Kali Sikaran program, this is angle 9. We're going to add angle 5 as well. And that can be a stick, could be a knife, could be a kick as well. Doesn't really matter, and we don't really care. We just want to see what we can do about that attack on the center line. Right now, we're just going to do an angle 5 like this. So we do a 1, 2, 3, and an angle 5. So that's going to feel a little bit like this is a strange exercise. And that could be done with a lead leg, could be done with the triangle, so you do it into a cross leg there. It doesn't really matter. We want to be able to apply both. And again, if I'm going into application, I want to do that before she's doing it. I don't want to have that action at the same time. So I'm going in on her backhand and just try to monitor that and stab. You do the same. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. One time each. Your time, your turn. There we go. You go again. There we go. You go again. Yeah, 2 more. That's it. Yes. So again, where you stab, yeah, when you do that one, we call that angle 5, like I said. Could be to the solar plexus, could be a little bit high to the throat, could be a little bit lower to the groin, depending on circumstances and how rude you want to be. Okay, so out of an application base, it's not a big difference. So we do a 1, 2, 3. You can do that as an application. We do a 1, 2, 3. Or you can do that as an application. It doesn't really matter. So you choose a few times. You want to go high or low, you choose. So I'm just going to be here. That's in the middle. That's a low one. That's a high one. Or if I'm only launching the backhand, you still go. That's a high one. Again. Low one. Or if I'm just punching, that's a short one. That's a low one. That's a high one. So not exactly the same as the backhand, but you just get out of that line. Whatever that's swinging, or if it's here, you're going to that outside. Quite similar. Want to do it with an umbrella? And like you saw, I was charging in a little bit, got a little bit closer, so she threw that punyo, that butt action again, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. If you're too close and you can't do the stabbing, you hit with backside, which is totally okay. Ready? I'm only going to feed this one or that one. Yep. Yeah. So it's a low stab, high stab, short one, low stab, high stab, low stab, short one as well. So a couple of different options there against the backhand or straight punch. We're going to add a little bit to that. Is that all right? Yeah, she can't say no. It's not an option here. Just asking to sound polite. Normally I don't really care. But anyhow, you go with a stick again. So we've been on the outside now because we really emphasize the outside. But in the perfect world, when everything goes as planned, you go to outside. World is not perfect, and normally in fighting or self-defense, things rarely go as planned. So we just want to have measures and reactions so we can deal with that anyhow. So we're going to add a few. So we're going to have the 5 after the 1, 2, 3. And now I'm just demonstrate first. So we do the 1, 2, 3, and you do an angle 5 like we did before. And we do that again. So now I can choose to go to the outside and strike, or I can choose to go to the inside and strike. One more. Outside and strike. Inside and strike. Outside and strike. Inside and strike. So the only thing out of the defensive perspective, 1, 2, 3. It's coming over here, stepping outside and kind of flip it. The perfect word, you hit the hand and you follow up from there. So do that one again. 1, the following, 2, 3. Step into the left, flip, check if it's still there, and hit. Do that again. 1, 2, and 3. Step to the left, flip, check, strike. 2 more of them. So that's on the outside if the opponent is right-handed. The other one was our regular blocking against angle 5. That's a little bit funky if you're not used to it, but we do it just quickly here. So 1, 2, and 3. We step to the right this time, tip down. We just sweep it through, check if possible, and just swing for now. So we stay on regular striking for now. 1, 2, 3. Step to the right, pass through, check, strike. Again. 1, 2, 3, 45 to the right, sweep, check, strike. So you do that a couple of times. You do one each, one inside, one outside, or opposite. We'll see. Yes. Inside. A few more. Outside. Inside. Outside. And inside. Yeah. So, remember what I told you? With a stick, this is fairly okay to have that strike with the stick. Because you can create a lot of damage if it's solid, if you can give it some speed, and it's going to be some energy and power out there. With umbrella, not so much. So what do we have to do then? Of course, if you do the umbrella strike over the face, it will be a little bit distracting, but it won't stop you. It might distract long enough for do something else, but normally you need to add something on top of that. But you go with umbrella again. So for demonstrational purpose, we're just going to do the strike again, and you strike to my face, please. Can do that. We do it in a drill format now, so the first 3 is just to move and be active. You don't want to do the first 3 for application-wise, but we just do it to do the same drill for the purpose of a drill right now. 1, 2, 3, go into the outside and you strike. 1, 2, 3, going to the inside, and you strike. And you can strike a little bit harder there. That's it. Inside, yes. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. So that might be a good distraction just by a little moment there. But to actually do some damage or hit something, you need to add either the backside if you're close or the tip if you're further away. So now you add. You strike to the face and then you follow up with one of them. If you're going closer, backside. If you're staying a little bit further, the tip. Oops, happens. Go straight for it, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Yes. Nice. Good. There you go. So I'm holding my hand there now. Might somebody else do as well. Just a little distraction, but the one that's going to count is the one that's following up after that. So, and again, you normally, if you score, you don't stop. You keep going. But you want to have a good shot if you want to continue to stay there and do your combination, or you leave in the safe way, if that's possible. All right, feeling okay there? Yeah. So this one could be equivalent to that one. So we'll do that as well. You ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, and we go there. It's just going to be a little different energy there. That's it. It. Yes. Nice. Oh, there goes my microphone. So there's a couple of variations there. So again, this is nice for practice. When you have a stick as well, you can feel the energy and add a little swing to it. It's not going to be the same swing with umbrella. It's going to be slower, but yes. Nice and heavy handle there, nice and pointy tip, and you just need to understand where to position yourself and make sure you get out of line of power. All right, any questions on that?
Can I keep this?
Sure, sure. We might have a special deal for umbrellas here. You just contact us and we'll sell you like 100 umbrellas in a bunch there. Seriously though, you have to understand the composition of the umbrella, and if you want to be able to defend yourself with it, you need to have an umbrella that's able to defend yourself with, understand where it's weak, understand the strength and what weapons of it you can utilize. But most important of all, you need to practice. So you need to understand where to position yourself, and you need to understand what you can do when you are in this or that position. And again, most important rule number 1, don't get hit. All right, I hope that's a little bit helpful. I hope you don't have to use it, and I feel a little bit sorry for umbrella. Good work.